Hola, mi gente. Welcome to another episode of Sazon Talk.
Ooh, it's been some time. Wanted
Yeah.
to have some girl talk. I feel like I've been talking nonstop about wrestling. So, because granted, wrestling is a part of my life. I love it. It's great, but I want to talk about something else. Before we get started on this week's topic, what has been something new that you did this week?
um, Trying to think.
Oh, shit, I need to
It's been
think. I
a. It's
forgot.
been a. I know last week was just. It was busy.
Mm-hmm.
I guess my body's new to this whole vaccine that I got today.
Ooh, clap it up
So
to getting vaccinated. Listen,
yeah.
everyone believes, if you believe what you want to believe, but if you're
Right.
gonna do it, do it. And if not, just still social distance, mask up, respect people's boundaries. Did you hear about the white lady? Okay. The white lady, because I didn't realize it was in the marketplace down the block from Cats.
Mm-hmm.
This white lady come in there with her 4 biracial kids. 4.
Oh wow.
Goes into the bagel shop and calls the guy. She did no mask, so the guy's like, I'm not serving you because you don't have a mask on.
Mm-hmm.
And called him. She called him the N word.
No
Mm-hmm.
way.
Yeah, mind you, her kids biracial. Her kids half Jamaican.
Child.
So it's just ironic. I was like, man, listen, these people out here is wilding, but
Right.
but
That's ridiculous.
no, it's crazy.
Yeah. But what about you? Anything new this week for you?
New this week,
I know you have
not.
a very busy week at work.
Yeah, work is crazy. It's WrestleMania season. I just
That's
realized that I have to pack for Tampa, Florida today.
right.
Like, I hate packing. Everyone that knows me
We know.
knows I love to travel. Don't get me wrong.
Hate
Even though I
packing.
hate being on a plane, but I hate packing is just the utmost, like, why am I doing this? Like, I don't understand. Like, why can't my clothes just magically appear in Tampa, Florida without me like a snap? Like, if
Just
I had,
airdrop it over there.
seriously, but I had to buy, and I was telling my homegirl earlier, I had to buy mad shit because when I think about it, the last time I had went out like last year was right before the city shut down.
Mm-hmm.
And then after that, coming back, then getting a little part time, and then getting the job I have now, I could go to work in sweats and leggings. Like, I don't have to dress up like how I
Right.
used to do for my other job, like before pre-COVID.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm so used to wearing just leggings and shorts. And even when I started working there, it was summertime. I was in my like stuff I had from last summer. So thinking about it now, I was like, I don't have no shorts. I don't have no. I have no shirts. I have no clothes. I'm about to go to 80 degrees. I
Right.
haven't felt 80 degrees in over 8 months. So I was
Because
like,
we were still locked down
it
during
couldn't
the whole
really
summer.
enjoy. Even around my birthday, I didn't even go to a hot place. So it wasn't even like I had to get clothes for that because I typically would. But I had bought some shorts from Old Navy. I had bought some bodysuits from Forever 21 that I'm still waiting for. I even went as far as I bought shirts from WWE Shop. Like, I went in.
Wow.
But they had a good sale. It was buy one, get one $5 when I did it.
Okay.
And me, and shout out to Danny from Pretty
Pretty
Heels.
Hills.
We had decided that because they decided that night one was gonna be Sasha Banks versus Bianca Belair. So we had decided weeks ago we were gonna get the WrestleMania shirt, but it had the EST one that's hers,
Mm-hmm.
and we was gonna wear it for night one. So I had got her that, and then I had bought the Cactus Jack old school T-shirt that I've been wanting for a while. I bought Mikey 2 shirts that he still doesn't know what they are.
Okay. So
I
yeah, don't
can't
say it
I
because
can't say it because he
yeah,
may or may
you could
not
tell me
listen.
later.
I mean, one is you guys' favorite.
Oh yeah.
No, I'm lying. I take that back. It's not that. It's the cousin.
Oh
Cause
okay.
he had been wanting that shirt for a
Yeah,
while.
I've been wanting to get one. I was like, I don't have any of those the cousin ones. There's a few
So
people that I want to get, but yeah,
so the
go ahead.
cousin one, and then I had got an old school say hello to the bad guy. I got him that. And then what other shirt did I buy? And I'm mad because I almost bought a Kane shirt because it was so hot, not knowing he was gonna go in the Hall of Fame. But I ended up not getting it. Oh, I got a Latino Heat shirt because I've been wanting that for a
Yeah.
long time. So
It's so
I was
funny
like,
that you were talking about like your packing and stuff and the clothes for
hate
you,
packing, hate
because
packing.
I so you were talking about new stuff. I haven't really pretty much told a lot of people, but of course but now people who listen to us is gonna know. But I am working as a teacher for Department of
Woo!
Education for
My
special
girl,
needs kids.
my girl out here winning.
And it's so funny because the first day that I started, Jay picked me up,
Mm-hmm.
and I was like, "Yo, my back hurts." He was like, "Why?" And I was like, "Because I'm wearing a bra."
Come
He
on
was like,
now.
"What do you mean?" I was like, "I've been home. I didn't have to wear bras. I could just be in the house without a bra."
Just
So
simple
now it's just
shit.
like,
Like
oh, I gotta wear a
simple
bra
shit you
every
don't
day.
realize you gotta wear. Like, so that's why I felt like I had to get like new shit. And I was like, yo,
Yeah,
fuck.
that's how I feel too. Because now that I'm working with kids, there's just certain like I have like this one is okay because it says me weird always, so I can wear this for work. But then I have some that's like inappropriate for a job. So I'm just
That
like,
we
yeah,
will
I need
keep
to.
at home.
Yes. Or, I can, when I go out with you guys or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
But, yeah, I was just like, oh God, I gotta start wearing jeans again. And I love wearing leggings. Like, they let you wear leggings, but you have to cover. And so I'm just like,
Mm,
uh,
that's not worth it.
especially with kids, I love wearing leggings because you're more free to move
Yeah, you can
around,
move
sit.
around.
Yeah. But with jeans, it's like you have a limit of your movement. So, but
Which is
yeah.
why, yeah, I rarely wear jeans unless I'm going out.
Yeah. But I
But
totally understand. I feel you
that's
on the whole clothes thing.
new. So anyone that's listening that wants to assist in me helping me pack, please just, let a sister know. Because I hate it.
ASAP because, she leaving soon.
Well, I mean, when this drops, I would say within the week of you listening to the
Yeah, because
episode.
this should drop. So it's not going to drop on our regular day, which is Tuesday. It. I think this might drop Wednesday.
But it's gonna be a hump day episode.
There you go.
So, but yes, anyone that wants to help, please just let a sister know. Cause I only do carry on, cause I don't need to take the whole world with me.
Right.
Um, but yeah, no, I think it's gonna be a good time though. So, but those that are not gonna be able to go out to Tampa, Florida, if you're in the tri-state area,
Join
go out to Legends both nights. The boys will be there. The gang will all
I'll
be
be there.
there. The gang will be there. The only one missing is me, but they'll be there representing the Java Tears Podcast Network and be able to watch both nights. History. I don't know. Like people was just. It's so funny because you got certain people that is low key scared of the COVID, but the irony is they've been to indie shows this whole time, but don't want to go to the grandest
Listen,
stage
I
in the
just told
mall.
one of my friends today, I was like, listen, don't come when it comes to my birthday celebration. I don't want to hear you say, "Oh, there's gonna be mad people," because I just saw you out and there was people there. So I don't want to hear the bullshit. Don't
That
come at me with that.
people make up what they want to make up, and it's ridiculous. So that's why I was like, but no, for me it was just super important. Like even if I had just went for a night, I just wanted to go whatever the Sasha and Bianca was gonna be, because that to me is just. I
Right.
think the little black girl in me that's always loved wrestling, I was just like, yeah, no, I have to. That's history. It's really the makeup for missing Kofi. To be honest with you, I don't regret missing out on seeing going to WrestleMania when it was here, because we had a dope ass party at Legends.
Yeah.
But to be
I
able
think
to
that
be
was my
there
first
live,
WrestleMania at
I was
Legends.
like, but not to be there and know certain people that were there, I was like, damn, I probably should have went. So this year, nah, I can't miss that. So, but in talking about that, we're going to switch gears into tonight's this afternoon, whenever you feel like listening to this episode's topic of this week. It is about adulting and how much it sucks and
It's
how we were not prepared. And
nobody
now,
tells you that it's. I mean, parents tell you you're gonna regret it But that's it. They don't
They
tell you
be-
the struggle.
they barely tell you that. They
No.
barely tell you that. So, first question: what
Yes.
is your definition of adulting? Like, when did you? At what age did you feel like, all right, I am an adult now? I can do this. I can do that. Like, what age did you feel like adulting went into effect?
I feel that my full on, like, I felt adulting last year.
Okay.
And the reason why I say that is because I was able to be separated from my family.
Mm-hmm.
And because, of course, I had bills before, but now that I live on my own and now that I live with roommates, now I'm paying rent. It's not just about, me worrying about paying for food and paying for my phone bill. Now it's
Mm-hmm.
actually like I got my phone bill, I got my Metro card. I mean, I've always had Metro card, but you know what I mean.
Mm-hmm.
So I feel like now that I don't have to feel like I had to depend on my family, and now I'm able to be me, especially that, because I felt like even before, besides the whole paying bills thing, I couldn't be the adult that I wanted to be because of my what my family would think about it.
Okay.
So I was already 29, so by 29 I'll say.
But girl, you was in your second coming of age. You had already been married. You come
Yeah.
on.
And that's the thing too, because I was married, but I still didn't feel like I had my own space because
Mm.
we lived with his parents. And so I was in charge of paying certain things, and so he was in charge of paying the rent, which he would, because obviously, if he didn't want to, he told her like I'll pay you next month, whatever type of thing. But that's on him.
Oh shit.
Yeah, so that's what I'm saying. Like I felt like now is my time because I was always living with somebody else that was taking care of me, kind of.
Mm-hmm.
Even though my ex didn't really take care of me, but it was, just now I'm able to have my own stuff, buy my own things for my room. Um, it makes me feel good.
That type of, I think what it really boils down to is just really just having that type of independence
Yes.
and being able to move the way you want to move, and even though sometimes it may not be all the way, at least it's a part of the way and where you have control over the situation. Because I think for me, I would say adulting hit, I feel like it came in two ways.
Me
I
too.
feel like when I feel like around 21, 22,
Hmm.
I was living at the time with my grandparents because there was no space, once I finished school, there was no real space back at home.
Right.
Um, so I had stayed with my grandparents, my mom's dad and his wife. They lived in Brooklyn. So I stayed for them about a year. Um, I it was freedom, but it still was just like I had to be considerate because it's not my house,
Right.
and then of course I've had bills since I was a teen. Like
Me too.
my mom did not play that. Like she was just like, I've had a job since I was 14, 15.
Hmm.
Even if it was a summer internship,
Yeah.
I got paid for, like, so I've literally been working probably half of my life already. So
Yeah.
that concept, I worked through college, like, and went to school at the same time. So it never, nothing, that train kept going. But I think in terms of feeling that true independence would have been probably, when did I move here? That's why I said it comes in waves, because once I lived with
Yeah.
my grandparents, I had actually moved up to the Bronx, and I lived in the Bronx for about a year.
Okay.
And I had a roommate, and still splitting rent, understanding bills and all type of shit. So, and then stuff had happened where I had to move back home, and I was home for like maybe 2 years. And then it got to the point where I looked at my mom and she looked at me, and we were just like, something has to give. So then that's when I moved to where I live now, out in Brooklyn. And it's just a better feel when it's on your own. There's nobody
Yeah.
asks questions you. No one has to ask like, what time are you coming home, or like, are you staying out somewhere, where you staying at? Like, I don't have to get asked those questions because I pay my own rent. I pay my own bills. But I think outside of that, there's a lot more on the adulting side
Yes.
that we don't really, that I felt like I wasn't prepared for. So, like, thinking about credit and thinking about maybe having a home later in life, like those levels of adulting, I feel like I'm just getting to caring about. Because in my 20s, I didn't give a fuck about credit. Like, credit who? Credit what? What's that?
Right.
And then now, like, being like in my early 30s is like, okay, in order for me to get a place, I gotta have the income, which I can have, but I also gotta have the credit side, which is
Mhm.
the struggle in itself because I have, student loans and stuff like that. So, and that's that, but it's all been a work in progress. But I feel like those are the things that growing up, no one really talked about. So I
Right.
went into everything like, sorry, if y'all look at me looking away, it's because Raw's on right now.
Yeah, I know. That's something like because you said certain things are happening, and it's like I occasionally glimpse up.
Yeah, those that are listening and watching about to get a reaction at the same time. Because I'm sitting here like, what's going on? Like, Rhea just flipped the table on Oscar. It threw me off. I was like, wait,
Yeah,
what?
you're behind.
Yeah, right. And I was just like, fuck, I'm going to turn this off. But it's about to end soon anyway. But no, yeah. But in terms of adulting, I just don't think that even in school, like, I feel like high school, like they say high school's supposed to prepare you for college. That was a lie. That's a lie. I don't know
Yeah,
why they had to
because
lie
for
like that.
me, I understand what you're saying about the second wave because I said it the same thing too. I started to become in the process of my independency when I was 11. I started washing my clothes. Like, that wasn't like we had to
Hmm.
wash and dry in our house. I had to go down the hill to the laundromat.
I had to go across the street from to the laundromat. My mom
Yeah.
has taught me start how to cook because she was just like, I'm not gonna cook all the time, so you have to figure it out. Like, it's a gift and a curse because my mom, and I love her to death. She is definitely my go-to, even as much as we bump heads.
Hmm.
That she gave me the tools though to always figure it out. Like, it was never like, and I think that's why I was like, it's a gift and a curse because at times you may want somebody to guide you and to help you understand certain things. But I think the way that she kind of molded me into just, Janelle, you like, there's just always that notion, like, I just have to figure it out. Like, it's not even on like a assistance. And it's a hint. Sometimes it can be a hindrance because then when I have people around me or my support system now as an adult, it's hard for me to even tell them like, okay, I need help
Hmm.
because I don't know that
And it's
concept.
crazy because for me, I was always taught not to depend on a man. Like if you needed assistance from a man, you would only ask your father. You don't go and you ask your boyfriend. You don't go and ask any other guy, because at that time, of course, like when you're young and you're trying to ask other guys for help, they want something back in return.
Yes.
So that's why I was taught. You only like if you needed something, you ask your father. That's it. But I just grew up. Even if I needed help, I wouldn't ask for it. I would just kind of struggle it on my own.
Mm-hmm.
And it became not an issue, but it was a process for me and Dre to understand that,
Oh,
because
girl,
he
that's
would
an
be like,
issue for
"Why don't
me.
you just tell me? Like I'll send it to." Because the thing is, like, I have no problem helping him.
Oh,
If
absolutely
he
not.
needs help, I'll give him anything. I don't
I'm
care.
I'm there in a heartbeat. It's the same with my kids.
Right.
I'm there in a heartbeat. But like even as small, because I told you, well, those are on my social media stuff or whatever, my friends. So that I had got a table, like I have a table in my a
Mhm.
desk in my room now. But even like with that, like we had went to Target, and I was just like, I need something that's already built because I'm not building, like I'm not doing that. Like I'm not a hands-on
Oh,
kind of
I love
girl.
building things.
No, that's not me. No, ma'am.
I love it.
I will literally rather pay someone to do that shit than do it myself. That
I
there's
mean,
certain
I
things
and I
I
remember
would
when
do
you
on my
had Dre
own.
put. I mean, for that, the Dre helping you with the AC, I would do the same thing because I
Oh
can't do
no,
that.
I'm not doing that. I did listen. I told my roommate. I said, Mikey put the table. So Mikey had put the table together. So shout out
Hmm.
to him for that. But he likes shit like that.
Yeah, I love it.
But then he's just like, well, isn't it? Is he? What he said was in a snickering way. he's just like, oh, how isn't it different to have a man to do things like to help you? And I was just like, you
You
asshole, I
petty ass
guess.
fucker.
Yeah, I was like, you asshole. But I was like, but he wasn't lying because I was just
Right.
like, so like even earlier when I came home and I told I was telling my roommate about the table. I have in my room also where like I have my bins.
Hmm.
I had a nigga build that, put that together. I didn't put that together. The dude I was talking to at the time, well, my neighborhood, you know what?
Yeah.
He came and fixed that. He put that up. I didn't put that up. And then Andre, shout out to Andre. I had told Mikey the story about the AC the other day, actually, about why I bought the AC. Actually, I told him that story the other day.
Oh no, what did he say?
No, he just was like, "Oh, okay," and I was just like,
Yeah, because if y'all have never been to Janelle's house, Janelle do not. She'll use her little fan. She do
"So
not
that
need no
so
AC.
that's the funny part." And I told him that I said, "Yo, I've lived here maybe 3-4 years, never had an AC." I said,
Hmm.
"I've because in my mind, I'm never home. Even if it's summertime, I'm never home. I'm either out with y'all or I'm
Yeah.
out traveling. I'm doing something, so I'm not home. So I didn't see a necessity for it." And then I did have a house guest over the summer that I felt like, well, if the person's going to be staying for a period of time, I don't want
Hmm.
them and myself to be uncomfortable. And it's
Hmm.
hot as fuck. So
Yeah.
that's why I bought the AC. So,
Because it's different when you have a fan just to yourself, but now when you have an
oh,
extra body, it's just like it's more hot.
and girl, I had him put in the AC the other day because I forgot what day it was last week where it was hot.
Oh yeah.
What was it? When did I bring the fan in here? Thursday? Thursday
I
night.
think it was Thursday. Yeah.
Thursday night. I woke up like 2, 3 o'clock in the morning. I said, yo, I gotta get this fan. I said, it's too hot in here. And then the next morning I said, you gotta put that AC in there because I can't. I'd rather be cold than hot.
All the great colleagues going on the Hall of Fame.
Oh yeah. They had announced that days ago. It was weird because they announced RVD and I was like, oh, I knew about RVD last week too.
Yeah.
You
I just saw
weirdos.
RVP too.
But
Sorry, we're wrestling fans.
sorry. Yeah, it's a part of life. I just told somebody that too. I said, yo, this shit is like a part like I need to find a hobby. Like outside of wrestling.
It's so funny because my friends that know me for 10 plus years and before, like, as a kid, I watched wrestling because I was raised with my uncles, so they used to watch it, so I watched it.
Mm-hmm.
And then after a while, I stopped watching it. Then me and my cousin are close in age, where he's like a year older than me, and we lived in the same building at that time. So I would go to his house to watch Raw.
Mm-hmm.
And so I think when I started watching is kind of when John Cena started coming in. So I watched it for a bit and then I just kind of stopped watching it again because I think by this time I was done with high school and so I just got busy with life. And I didn't get reintroduced to wrestling till I met Trey. And now, like, I'm just constantly talking about, and like, I had a full on conversation with my meatball's husband because he's a wrestling fan. So
Oh,
he's like, "Yo,
nice.
she's like the only friend that I like because she could talk about wrestling."
Oh, 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 buddy.
And I was just, it's so crazy because I've never had, like, besides y'all, I've never had an actual conversation with somebody else about wrestling. And I was just like, oh my God, I actually feel smart about this. Like, look
So
at me.
it's so funny because at the job,
Mhm.
um, some of the guys had like found out that I had the podcast and that I like wrestling, and I was like, yeah, like wrestling is like it's like 80% of my life. Yeah, so I
Yeah.
love it. So there's one manager there, and there's one of the guys that work in the back counter. But the guy that works in the back counter is so funny because all he like every morning or every time he sees me, he goes, "Hey WWE," like it's the funniest shit, and I just be like, "Hey," but then I'd be like in my mind, I'd be like, but I like other wrestling promotions outside of WWE, but it's okay. But it's just
Right.
so funny that
Because
they
usually when
do that.
people think of wrestling, they think of WWE.
And then the other day, I really wish I remembered the guy. Because trust me, if you knew the amount of people that work in the kitchen at Cats.
Gotcha.
But the other day, I saw somebody with the Undertaker chalk line jacket. I said, "Oh my god, I got that jacket too."
Hmm.
I almost ripped it off. I was like, "Oh my god, I got that jacket too."
It's so crazy because I went, this was a while ago, like a couple of weeks ago. I don't remember exactly when, but I went food shopping on 116, and there's a cuchi frito. If you guys are familiar with Spanish Harlem, but it's a cuchi frito on 116 between Third and Lex.
Yes.
And
Closer to
Jenna's like, I
Lexington.
know which one.
I know which one you're
Yeah.
talking about. I've literally, so Dominica trip, I've literally have, when I used to live uptown, I literally get on the 116 bus, go all the way across town just for that spot. And then there was a nail spot on 116 between, really it was between Lex and Park that I used to go to all the time. So
Okay.
I would go get my nails done, I go get my feet done there, and then I would go to the
To
Cucho
the cuchi
Frito
frito.
place. That's my place though. And I tell them I
So
put all the gravy you want on it. I don't care.
so there was a guy waiting for like I guess like a something like a acapuria or pastaria or whatever, and
Mm-hmm.
he had the Bad Bunny wrestling shirt on.
So funny story. Me and Danny had went out last week.
Mm-hmm.
First of all, it was the first time I went to a place and it was a DJ. I hadn't seen a DJ in over a year. It was wild.
Mm.
And the DJ had the Bad Bunny zip up hoodie from Royal Rumble.
Mm-hmm.
I said, Danny, he got the. I said, it says Royal Rumble. I got mad excited. Mind you, I don't even
there's
care
the
about that.
there's a fine fair, and I know we're totally off topic, but we'll get back. There's a fine fair near my house, and there's this guy. Occasionally, when I go, he wears the Fiend shirt. He has the shirt and he has the hoodie, and I was just like, eh.
That's the other shirt I bought. I bought the braid. I bought a fiend shirt to wear on Sunday
Okay.
for night two because I kept saying it because in my mind I had to put together outfits. So I was just like, all right, I know half the time I'll be wearing a pair of like Jabba shirts. So I knew that.
Right.
But I was like, night one, I knew I was gonna wear the Bianca Belair shirt because it. I'm sorry, that shit is just beyond dope. Like it just had EST on it. And I was like, okay, cool. But then night two, I was like, well, who's fighting that I could? I said, I'm not wearing Roman, so that's a dub. Daniel Bryan's shirt is just not. I don't think it's popping like that. Even though I do like
Right.
Daniel Bryan.
Even though I don't really like his new shirt.
I don't like the new shirt, even though it's going green. It's every dollar. I think there's a dollar. Every T-shirt that's bought, a dollar goes to planting a tree or some shit like that. So
Oh, okay.
it's very green, but I
Yeah.
just didn't like it from my taste. So I was sitting there thinking like, yo, who else is fighting on Sunday? Because I feel like Saturday's the better night anyway. And I
Yeah.
was like, Randall and Bray's on Sunday night. I'll get the Fiend shirt because I
I'm
like the
surprised you didn't
Fiend.
get. I'm surprised you didn't get Randall's shirt.
No, at this point, I just need to meet Randall. I need to meet Randall Keith Orton at this point. Like, I don't need to buy no merch. I don't. I just want to meet and greet, and
I
that is
feel
it.
like there's certain things that as an adult that I've gotten, it makes me feel like, okay, I just did an adult thing today.
Like what?
So,
What's an adult thing you do? You do? What's a
well, I mean, like in regards to like buying something for myself or like Dre. So like when me and Dre started going out, it was on our anniversary, and this might have been one of my biggest things I think I've done for anybody, which I bought
what?
his wrestling belt.
Oh, right.
So I was just like, I feel like this is probably like the most craziest adult thing I've done for a guy.
Oh, girl, it don't get nowhere. Listen, I could trump you. I bought Mikey 2 beats for songs for Christmas, and he nearly lost his shit.
Oh, I know. Now
So
that
and
I'm
that's and
working,
that
because
to me that was the crazy. I mean, I'm a good gift giver, I will say, but
I
I would
am
say
too, and
that
it's crazy because like I wasn't, I was working, but it wasn't like as good of a pay during the Christmas time, and I'm the type of person like I'm not really big when people give me gifts. It's kind of like I don't know how to react to it,
oh, I don't like
but
it.
I love giving gifts for people. So Dre was not expecting me to get him anything because he's just like, don't worry about me. Like, get your sister stuff. Don't worry about it. But I got him certain things that he was just like, why did you do that? And I was like, because I know you wanted it. You've been saying it,
Mm-hmm.
and I really wanted to get it for you. And so when you're able to do something like that, it makes you feel good. When
Because
it's
you did it on
able,
your
like,
own.
yes, you did it on your own, and of course you try to make a way to budget it out that you make it happen.
So speaking about budgeting, how hard has it been as an adult? Because that label is very nonchalant as
I
fuck.
feel like that's the one where people don't tell you, because
It,
they just tell you to work and make money and get
but
rich, but they don't
I
tell you, like,
I think a part of it though is people that are, I think, in our minds supposed to tell us are still learning themselves. Like I feel
yes,
like there's a lot of things that, and, it's also two different eras, different. What
yeah,
worked when when they were growing up doesn't work now.
yes, because obviously, like, what works in my mom's generation doesn't work in my generation and doesn't work in my siblings' generation.
Right.
Especially if you live in fucking New York, that shit doesn't happen. New York is just too much, too
Everybody's
damn much.
everywhere.
Yeah,
But question would be, in your mind, how hard or how easy has it been saving? Because I feel like that's another adulting thing that no one tells you about, that you know even come, and that's kind of like the one thing one of the things I learned coming out of 2020 was just like, yo, you gotta have a savings. Like
yeah,
you can't be out here. And I mean, granted, us living in New York, 9 times out of 10 everybody's living paycheck to paycheck,
yeah,
which was why when the city shut down and everybody left and right was losing jobs, it was a hard thing, because it was just like that was like for me, because granted I had stuff to the side, but that was just stuff to the side. It was never like for like a rainy day type of purpose. So,
yeah. It's been hard because, oh child, like you were talking about, you were talking about credit earlier, and I had probably the most best credit before I got married. My credit was almost at 800.
the fuck?
Yeah,
How did we go, where did we go wrong?
I got married. That's where where it went wrong. So
Girl.
I got married, and I was working at a job where I was able to do everything. I was able to pay my part of the bills
Mm-hmm.
and do the food shopping, and I was living paycheck to paycheck, but I still was able to complete my goals. When I lost my job is when it became hard,
Mm-hmm.
because he's like, well, you need to fulfill your part of the bargain, and he wouldn't help.
But
So
that's what look at him
yeah,
now, look at you now.
right.
Because I feel like
So
that's what you're supposed to do, like in any relationship. It's like if the one person doesn't have it at this moment in time,
hmm
that's actually what I tell
yeah,
all the time. It's like, listen, you don't have to have everything, don't have to be ready just because I'm in a better position right
right,
now. Because guess what? In a year from now, it could be completely swapped. And
right,
I'm not in a good position, but you are. But you want to be able to be with somebody that's going to be able to hold you down through the highs and the lows. So that's why, like,
right,
when you saying, like, oh, he's looking at you like, so bitch, where your money at? Like,
right.
what?
Because mind you, like, I started fucking up my credit because I kept putting everything on the credit card.
Oh.
And so, because before I would put it on my credit card and then I would pay it right off. But because I wasn't getting any income, I just kept putting on the card, and I'm like, I'll pay for it later. But then it started to pile and pile. And then he was like, I was going back to school. I had found a job, but it was part time.
Mm-hmm.
And he said, like, we'll go half on the computer. So I said, okay, fine. Then we got divorced. So when it came to the laptop, he was like, I'm not paying for that. And I was like, bro, you said you would pay half. So then that ended up going to collections. Um, the credit card that I had before went to collections. And everything just started to pile up, and it was starting to stress the fuck out of me. My
Mm-hmm.
credit went from 780 to like five something. And then it was just so stressful. And then I was able to pay some off. Like I'm still paying credit cards off. But I can say that I've cut at least out of, I think it was out of 10 credit cards, I'm down to two.
Bitch, you had 10 credit cards.
Yeah, I
But see,
mean
but that's
some of
also
them
what
were like
but
Forever
that's but that's one of
21.
the things, like, honestly speaking, though, they don't, like, no one really tells you, like, there's no class about it. There's no, like, oh, let me teach you the ways to not get in debt. Like,
Yeah,
by the time you learning them lessons, you already in debt. Because
yeah,
I had a credit card, and that's the one thing. Anybody listening, whether it's sibling, you, whatever, you go to college, their first thing is not a credit card. Okay?
hmm,
Because that's what happened. I had ended up getting a credit card through my bank, and luckily, because that's what I'm saying, I like thoughtful gifts. So one Christmas, my mama just helped close that fucking credit card up. Like, she was like, "Let me help you out, sis."
hmm,
So I like shit like that, like gifts like that, like pay a bill
right.
or two or three. That's okay.
Help a sister out.
Right, because that actually helps me out. And that to me has always been a thing, because I think sometimes, especially guys, like, they get too wrapped up on being it like, you need something materialistic. Like, I tell, no matter who I'm dealing with, I don't need you to pay or buy me clothes or do anything. Like, I don't need all that. Like, if you really gonna help me, pay a bill, take me on a trip, take me, like, give me something valuable.
Yeah,
Don't just get me stuff that I could get myself, because I'm always, and I think that's why I'm saying, like, the way that, like, I was kind of raised, it's a gift and a curse, because I always find a way. Like, there's nothing that, if I want to do it, I'm gonna find a way to do it.
yeah,
If
yeah.
I
Because
don't
that's
want to
I
do
think
it, that's it what it
mine
is.
started racking up because he was always so like, my divorce ended in like the easy way out, I guess we can say.
Because y'all
I
didn't have
kind
no
of,
property, you guys didn't
yeah,
have.
we didn't have. I mean, we had like things that we bought in together. So we like, he was basically saying like, whatever you want to take, just take it, kind of thing. So we were agreeable with that. The money that he owes me, we were agreeable with that, which is a pain in the ass. Now, I kind of wish that I just wrote it as a document and had the judge sign off of it. But now I'm just like, whatever. But when it comes to, we had no kids together, so we didn't have to worry about child support
Mm-hmm.
and custody. Um, I wasn't gonna take his car, even though technically I could if I wanted to. I could ask for alimony, and I was just like, I'm not gonna do that to you. Just give me the money you owe me, and I won't ask for alimony. Anybody who doesn't know what that is basically a spouse child support. That's basically what it is.
You know, Halle Berry's ex-husband gets alimony, and she just got that shit cut down. First of all, this nigga was getting $16,000 a month in alimony from Halle fucking Berry. And she just recently, like the other day, I was reading an article. She just got that shit cut down to 8K. I
Wow.
said, this nigga's getting $8,000 just being your baby daddy.
Hmm.
Did I pick? I fuck up? Like, that's the type of shit that make you want to rethink shit. Like, wait, did I?
Yeah.
And they be like, nah.
Um. But I don't remember why we were talking about that.
We was
But
talking about cards and credit cards and
yeah, so my credit card started going up because Christmas came around, and he was like, let's just put it on the card, and then I'll give you the money for it later. Never did. And that was my Macy's credit card. So I had to pay for that.
girl, you know how much
Then
interest is on that?
yeah. Then Pandora as well. I'll give you for the money for that later. When we got divorced, the Pandora, the Macy's. I had lost tons of weight at that time. For people that know me back then, they know that I wasn't like, I lost weight, but everybody thinks it's because it was a healthy thing, and it wasn't. It was actually because I was just stressed the fuck
Stress the
out.
fuck out.
So I lost about almost 58 pounds at that time.
Oh shit.
Yeah, I lost a lot, and so nothing fit. And he didn't want to buy me clothes, so I just put them up on the Forever 21 credit card, Torrid Carriage credit
It's the
card.
devil.
Yeah.
Every time I go in the Old Navy and they see my purchase and they be like, well, you could take $60
20%
off.
off.
No,
Yeah.
when I just went the other day, the guy was like, you could take $60 off right now getting a car. I said, absolutely not. I said, that's the devil's work, and I don't want that. I literally told Old Navy no. Like, if I ever wanted to practice how to say no, I go to Old Navy. And
Yeah.
because every single time I purchase something, they ask me, like, do you want to open up an Old Navy card? It's good for Old Navy, Banana Republic, and
Yeah.
Gap. And I was just
Gap.
like, no, I don't, because I don't want to pay that off because
Yeah.
I will
So
spend.
all of that racked up, and then basically once the divorce happened, I had to do everything on my own. Right now I'm down to two, like I said.
Well, that's good though.
Yeah. As much as it's
But
been
these are the
stressful, but
things that it's a learning thing. It's
yeah.
not even I didn't like looking back, I would have like credit, savings, jobs, like resume, like all different things that in terms of are part of adulthood. I don't
And it's
think I
so
would have
crazy.
known.
Yeah, it's so crazy now because the main reason why I didn't fully explain to you, but I wanted to really do this is because I do have younger siblings, and I feel like a lot of the generation that's growing up now is lazy, and they're so dependable of their parents. Like I said, I was became on a journey of independency when I was 11. I started working when I was 14. And pretty much then, I got sick and tired of my parents taking my phone away. So I went to Boost Mobile, got me a Nextown bleep bleep, and I paid my $50 a month.
Girl, who didn't have a Nextel? Girl, I had
I,
all them phones. I had a Nextel, I
I
had
did. I
Nokia,
had a
I had a
Sidekick,
Sidekick, I had a Sidekick XL,
Blackberry.
I had a BlackBerry. I had a BlackBerry in college, and that was when like shit was popping because everybody had a BlackBerry at the time.
Yeah.
But yeah, I've gone through phones and every shit.
Yeah. So I started paying my phone when I was 14, 15 years old. And I started buying my own clothes at that age too. When it came to me having my monthly cycle, I went and got my pads at that time,
And pads are
and
expensive, and they don't tell you that
they're
either.
very
That's
expensive.
another thing they don't tell you in adulting as a female.
Yes,
The
especially
upkeep
all products that we need.
the upkeep as a female, they don't teach nobody teaches you that. Like,
No.
I would have never thought pads was like over 10, $11.
Hmm.
Like, and then I had to average how many pads I use so that I know what size to buy. Like, do I buy a
Right.
big one? Do I buy a 36 pack or do I buy a 12 pack? Like,
And it's
no,
not
like,
even that.
what?
It's like you got pads that we have to get all the time. It's not something like, oh, do I need this? No, you do need this.
No, you
Then
do.
you got your feminine hygiene stuff, like your vaginal soaps and all this other stuff that you need. You got your hair product stuff that you need. You got, if you go do your nails and your feet all the time, you got to put that down because that's expensive too, and your hair too.
Yeah.
Um, it's just so many things. Perfume, deodorants. It's just like now I've learned, like, once I saw that Costco had my deodorants, I was like, I'm getting them from Costco.
So deodorant, the price of deodorant makes no sense to me.
It's stupid.
It makes
I
zero
got
sense to me.
four. They're the Dove version. I got four from Costco for $13.
Well, that's not bad. That's a
That's
steal.
what, yeah. That's why I was like, I'm getting this because you
I
can
feel
go for
like
like
that
almost $8 to $10 for one Dove.
for one Dove is like 7.
Yes.
And I feel like that's what I'm saying. That's a part of like adulting lingo. It's
Mm-hmm.
like, yo, that's a bargain.
It is.
like, like looking back when I was a teenager, it's like whatever. I don't care. It is what it is because
And
it wasn't
it's just
my
like
money.
things that you would never think of. It's just probably not expensive, girl. If you even go out and buy toothpaste is freaking ridiculous.
It is like $5, $6 for a
So I
tube.
get the double pack, and that shit is almost like ten
Shit is
bucks.
wild.
Yeah,
Like, what else is like so expensive as an adult now that I'm like, yo, this is,
shampoos are expensive.
well,
Like the
I get my
ones
hair
I
done,
get, like
so.
I can't use anyone, but the one I used to use before.
Oh, for my hair, I use the what's it, the Pantene, but it's the brown bottle. It's a
Hmm.
specific one, And the shampoo and conditioner, I'm almost spending like $30.
Wait, when did Corbin come to Raw? I'm
What?
sorry.
You're ahead. You're ahead.
Sorry. I was just like, because I just looked up for a second and I saw him and I was just like, wait, when the hell did this
All I
happen?
see is Bobby and
And
dry
yeah,
ass Drew.
I'm gonna have to catch this up later. Cause
First of all, everything went downhill after the Hurt Business broke up, and at this point, I don't know what to do.
right, but yes, bras are freaking. If you got big boobs like I do, they
Bras
are ridiculous. You can't go
are
to any other store where
expensive.
you can just get them for like $20 or
I
something.
was
No.
heartbroken as a child, as a teenager. I never forget. Me and Joy had went to my mom took us to Vicky's Secrets,
Mm-mm.
and we was getting like smell goods and stuff. But then we was trying to check out the bras, and when
Mm-hmm.
that lady told me they did not at the time because they didn't carry bigger size. So when that lady told me, "Oh no, you not a B, you a double D," I said, "Bitch, what?" And then she was like, "We don't have that size." I felt so discouraged. I was just like, "What? You
Right.
mean I don't make the cut anymore?" Like
Listen,
that shit is a blow.
it's just super ridiculous. And even like, if you want a good material of a bra, it's highly expensive. And if you want a good material of underwear, it's highly expensive.
Once again, things they don't tell you.
No. Then you got socks, you got sneakers and shoes, and then everything that you gotta get. Just being adults, it's exaggerating. Like
It's exhausting,
it's
actually.
very exhausting. And
Like that
sometimes
whole
as a
"don't grow up
kid,
too fast" thing.
yeah,
Facts.
it's true facts.
Oh,
Cause
where did this? Okay,
told
now
you, he just came out of nowhere.
where is he? What?
But even like for me,
What?
like if people like that are like me that wear glasses, we have to go and pay for our glasses. And if you are a person that wears glasses and contacts, your insurance doesn't cover both, so it's like one or the other, and you pay for the other. So it's just like I'm not when it comes to glasses, I've learned from experience. I do not go highly expensive because I've gone expensive before and they break.
And you lost them. Oh, they broke.
Right. And now you just spend $300 for nothing. So
Oh,
I am just like, it's very exhausting being an adult. And we're not telling you, like, I feel like as a kid, like when you've had that older person tell you, like, don't grow up, and like you were just saying. But now as an adult, I'm just like seriously, don't don't
enjoy
grow up.
it. Enjoy it. That's
Yeah,
why, like,
enjoy the money
even
of mommy and daddy.
even in like 20s and stuff, like now being
Mhm.
what 31 going on 32, which is weird because it doesn't even feel like
You know
that.
that you remember SYEP
Yeah.
before it was only up to you were 18,
No, but then they had changed it to you, I think, up to
24.
24. So funny story is when I turn 18 every summer, when I
Mm-hmm.
would come back home from school, I would apply for the for summer youth. The first time I had applied for it, I think I was like 18. I got denied. So I said, okay, it is what it is. And then after that, I was 23 and had just finished school.
Mm.
And I said, you know what? I'll try for kicks and giggles. And got SYEP
Oh
at
wow.
like 21. But what ended up happening, it was wild because I was just like, well, I'm dumb old. And all these other people are like 16, 17 trying to figure it out. But luckily the place that I was working at was like a summer program.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why I used to teach was a summer program. So I had started off as a TA, and then I had did so good and had built such a good relationship with the program there that after my summer youth had went up the following 2 summers, I had worked there as a head teacher, as a lead teacher. So that's why, like, I tell people, like, use your resources because, in all honesty, I probably would have never found that job. I would have never found that
Yep.
opportunity if I didn't do so, if I didn't try some of you. Because I think that's always the thing is people sometimes get discouraged because they feel like they're too old, or it won't happen for them, and it's just like you just don't know.
I I got my experience. So I never got into SYEP, but I used to work. Well, I did my internship because my school was mandatory. You had to do internship.
Mm-hmm.
So I did it at what's called, everybody's familiar with, the Boys and Girls Club Children's Aid Society.
Mm-hmm.
So I did my internship with them. So they had both. They had SYEP, and then they had one that was the New York Times. I always got into the New York Times. So I did my summer program with them. So I got my experience of working when I was 14 from there. But like now I see kids that are just like, if I get it, I get it. If I don't, I don't. They don't care. And it's so crazy now because I look at my siblings and I'm just like, bro, you gonna work or not? Because like
Mm-hmm.
you need experience now these days. Before they would like, no experience needed. Now you do.
No, you need not only the experience, but you need the degree too. And I think
Yeah.
that sometimes part is a little bit of the discouraging end of things, because not, school's not for everybody.
Yeah.
So sometimes it can make things harder, because yeah, that was the same like with my brother. My brother was never really too like, I want to go to school, I want to go to school. But my mom was always like, no, all of you bitches is going to school. But because his dream was just to work for MTA, because he's always loved trains, always loved MTA. So now that he does,
Yeah.
it's just more or less like now he's just, in his career and in the field he wanted, and that's that. I'm just, side note, I'm just really confused with what's going on the TV screen.
Yeah.
But I don't know where Corbin just came from.
That's what I'm
I'm
telling you. Like I looked up and he was there, and I'm like, what the fuck? How
And
the
then it
hell did he come?
keeps,
I was like, am I tripping? I swear he was on SmackDown because I was happy
I
I didn't have to see him.
I don't know what was going on. I'm gonna have to look deeper into this, because I don't know what's going on. And then, is he helping Bobby? Is I don't.
Yo no sé. But
Yo, that's wild.
this adulting life, it's like, I mean, Janelle, you're 32, right?
31, girl. Don't
You're
put a
gonna be
plus.
32. That's
I
what it
will
is.
be
I
32
forget.
this
Sorry.
year. Cause low key, I'm the baby of the group. Low key, low key. Before
Yeah.
you and Dre, I was low key the baby of the group because everybody else is older than me.
Yeah, and I will be 30 this year. And it's just like, it's exhausting. But now that I've gotten into something that I mean, I've always been working with children, but this is what I live for. I've gotten my degree to teach. I've gotten my degree that expands my mindset, because it's different when you work with children and you don't know anything about the cognitive development or the gross motor skills and all this stuff, and you learn it in school, and it's just like, oh, this is what I need to be looking for when I'm doing my observations. This is what you mean by this and this and that. This is what you mean by the development. So now that I'm in my field that I love, and it's more of a new experience for me because obviously I did DOE at a public school for my student teaching,
Mm-hmm.
and now all my kids that I have now, they all have a type of special need. So it's challenging at times, but it's a learning experience for me, especially like I'm not sure if I mentioned it on this podcast, but certain people know that my little brother's autistic.
Mm-hmm.
So I have a little girl in my class that she has the same autism as my brother, and I learned from her, and I gave it to the advice to my stepmom, and so I enjoy it. There's just days that sometimes them kids make you want to lose your mind. But
Mm-hmm.
there's, like my last day, because obviously I'm on spring break right now. But on Friday, we did an Easter egg hunt with them, and they lost their mind. They had so much fun because we have our own playground.
Oh,
So
okay, that's
they were
good.
out and they had fun, and then of course, one of my kids, that he's verbal, so he opens the egg and he's like, "Oh man, there's nothing inside."
He's upset.
Yeah, and like because we gave them dinosaurs, but they didn't fit in the egg. So, but we made baskets for them, and we're like, no, but you're gonna get this. So he was like, oh, that's a dinosaur, and it was so cute because you get to see like some of the kids like that are autistic, they don't know what's going on, but you take their hand and you walk around and they're like, ooh, 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 and they'll point to it and you tell them like pick it up and they're kind of like scared, but they take it and they go, oh, like like this is cool. And so, but it's so cute to see their faces, and that's what I'm saying. As an adult now, like now I feel like I was telling you before, like I've done nanny for such a long time, and
Mm-hmm.
I have my experiences, like my pay was trash, and now I'm doing something that I love doing and I have the experience doing. Now I'm getting a better pay than before. It's a
And that's,
process, you
I mean,
go
it's a
into
part.
yeah, it's part of growing. You get these little pay jobs, and then it takes you to understand how much you're worth, though.
Correct. And you have to know, you have to have an idea of what that is. Like,
Mm-hmm.
I've worked in, I always tell people, any interview I've had or any job I've had for the past 7, 8 years, I
Mm-hmm.
always say sales chose me. I didn't choose sales. And it's
Yeah.
the truth because I just I guess because I'm a people person, so that's one. That helps.
Toots to you.
But two, if it's a product or if it's something that I believe in, then it comes easier. So when I used to, plan kid birthday parties, I loved it because I love
Mm-hmm.
birthday parties and seeing the kids happy and, working with the parents, even the ratchet parents was cool. Like, it's okay. And then transitioning into working for group sales and working in hospitality and working at an attraction and then going back to restaurants. So it's been a journey where it's just like I just genuinely love what I do because I get to help people and I get to talk to people all the time. Not necessarily love it all the time because people are rude
Mm-hmm.
and they think everything is the one thing is that I just don't take things personally, so that's what makes it a lot easier. But
Yeah.
I get like more recently, I like people that are cold. They'd be like, how do you do it? Like, you're so good at it." And I'm just like,
Yeah.
"Tell my boss that. Thank you."
Yeah, I can't do like obviously like I have my coworkers that I have to deal with, but I've been blessed with the head teacher and the other assistant teachers that are in the classroom that they're really dope. And the director in my location, because my job, like when you're looking for a job, well for me, when it comes to early childhood or any type of school, you want to know that there's more than one location, because then I mean that brand is growing. And so my location actually has multiple locations. They're going on their fourth, I believe, location in the Bronx, and they have about like three in Queens.
hmm
So, but they're super dope, and even like the ones that I've met in Queens, they're super cool, and I think I'm okay with them. Other than that, this is why I work with kids, because I can't stand adults. Like there's times that the kids make you want to pull your hair, but they do the darndest. Like I had a kid, obviously, they're wearing their mask, and this is the same one that was saying, "Oh man, there's something inside." So it was downtime, because of COVID, they're not taking naps, but we have downtime. And he was laying on my lap, and he goes, "Miss Manda," and I was like, "Yes." And he goes, "I love you," and I said, "I love you too." And he's like, he's going like this to my hand, he's caressing my hand, and he gives me a kiss on my hand. And
Oh.
I was like, you see, kids do the darndest things.
Or he could be fresh as fuck.
No, he was like, he's super, like he likes to give hugs, like that's his thing, like especially if he thinks he did something wrong, he gives you a hug, and he's like, "I'm sorry," like that's just his thing.
His MO. I get it.
Yeah. So, but he's just like, and he can detect when something is wrong. A lot of kids are like that, but he like, if he thinks that you're angry or anything, he goes, "You okay? You okay?" And he'll try to give you a hug.
Oh, he's
But that's, I'm
adorable.
just like, there's just times that I've had, like when my best friend passed away, my little cousin was little, but he knew that something was wrong with me, and he would just do the darndest thing just to make me laugh.
Well, that's because kids feel energy.
Yes.
If there's one thing I do know is that
Yeah.
kids feel energy and they know when something is wrong. They know when then something ain't right, and they want to fix it, and they
Mhm.
want to help. And it's just that's just a shift in energy. But that's kids and even in adults. Like there's
Mhm.
times where so I wear my emotion on my face. Like if
Me
I'm
too.
pissed or I'm aggy or saying ain't right, it's all written all over my
Mhm.
face.
There ain't no hiding on the face. I
It's
know.
not.
Me too.
I can't do it. I try to, but I can't.
Mhm.
But it's just more or less because it's just an energy thing. Like your energy can shift and people can feel it. That's a real tangible thing
Yeah.
as much as people don't realize it. But before we do sign off,
Mhm.
last thing, what is one piece of advice that you would tell younger Amanda now that you know now? What's a piece of advice you would tell the younger you?
Um, go with your gut and go with your dream, and you don't always have to have the money for everything.
Okay.
Yeah.
What would I tell younger Janelle? It's okay not to know. I think at times, and it's not just because I want to be a know-it-all, but it's just because my first thing is to always fix things. I'm a fixer.
Mhm. Yeah.
So I think I would tell younger me and in 31 me that you're not always going to have the answers in that moment at that time. And that's okay.
Yeah.
So that's definitely something that that's still a work in progress because that's what adulting is a work in progress.
Indeed.
But once again, anyone that's listening or viewing, you can tell us what is the biggest lesson you've learned as an adult, and a piece of advice you would want to give yourself and other young, up and coming individuals that don't have the slightest idea about adulting. You can definitely post in the comments below. You can let us know if you want to send us a video about some advice. Please do. It's always welcome. Jazz things up a bit. But anything before we do sign off? Miss Manza. Miss Manza, I love you.
um, no, just I didn't know we said I yes we said it in the beginning of our episode. Just a reminder for those that are not going to Tampa, you're welcome to join us at Legends Bar.
Yes.
Um, we have it on my page. We have it on Janelle's page, on Java Share's page. You'll see it
Everywhere.
everywhere. You
Everywhere.
can't say I
Because
didn't
guess
know because
what?
they posted everywhere.
We're the only bar showing WrestleMania.
Awesome. So
So,
RSVP, or just go to invite and RSVP. Check the Jobbeteers podcast
you can
network.
also message us on Instagram and on Facebook if you do want to RCP because those RCPs
Yes.
will filled up. Just keep in mind we are at 50% capacity in New York City, so
Mhm.
that means that we can get a lot more people than we have in the past, but that doesn't mean we're gonna go crazy. So just make
Right.
sure to RSVP. Make sure to arrive early. Doors I
Yep.
do believe are gonna open at 4. The show starts at 6. Because it's the same for us. The stadium opens up at 4:30, I think,
Mhm.
and the show starts at 6.
Yes.
But anyone going to Tampa that's listening, want to link up, let me know. Hit me up personally. There's a few indie shows that I'm gonna go to. I'm gonna go to For the Culture Thursday night. It's at midnight. I don't know why they always want to put the black people on at midnight. I don't get it. It's the second time they've done this, and I'm like, I don't understand. And then Thursday, shout out to Miss Faye Jackson, Real Hot Girl Shit. Alley Cat's Real Hot Girl Shit, where Faye is gonna do her Gray Sweatpants Battle Royal. And then also, I think they did announce it already. Tasha Steeles versus Trisha Dora, sponsored by the Jobbeteers podcast. So it's really, really big deal for me personally to not only be there representing our brand, but also being able to support these women of color. And then the other show, DFW versus the World, where you'll have JTG's on there, Jacob Fatu, Shane Taylor from ROH. So that show, and then GCW show, that's all Friday night, and then WrestleMania is Saturday and Sunday. So those are the shows I probably will be at. So if you are in town, you want to link up, talk wrestling, that's where you'll find me. But other than that, you can find not only this episode, but previous episodes of Sazon Talk on all streaming platforms and on our YouTube network page, Double Tears Podcast Network.
Yes. I
We're
created a link tree so you can find all the links on the link tree.
beautiful.
Yes.
Very helpful. But as always, I'm Janelle from HR.
And I am Amanda.
And we will speak to you guys later.
Bye.